Well, good morning, everyone. Hey, Tom. Nice to see you online. Let's see what I got up on there. Hey, Marsh. Welcome, guys. We got a little bit of a late start here today, but that's okay. Let's take a look and see what we got. And since you guys are new and I haven't seen you on here before, I'm going to give you a little tour of what I've been up to. So, all right, definitely not that. That's old meeting stuff. All right, so I'm doing something very special for the year of 2026. It started this at the end of 2025. And basically, what it is a card series of 1,000. It's called Road to 1,000. Okay, this is just book one, volume one. And in this book, I have these are the first five categories. So I have Marvel. Let's see if I can move that over. There we go. I have Marvel. We have DC, Image, video games, and I think the last one is Transformers. So what I'm doing is I'm doing 100 different characters in each category, so it'll come out to 1,000 characters. I've passed the 50 character mark. I did that prior um, to the beginning of this year, so happy New Year to you guys too. Um, but some of the characters that have been done are right here. These are some of the ones that I got to get colored up. This one was this guy right here that was going to be Apocalypse. That was right here. But he's gone. He's sold. Um, you can request any of the characters. The lists are up there. So if you want to go and get that, but this morning, all I'm going to be doing is just trying to keep on moving forward on this stuff, and go from there. Yeah, I mean, just to give you a little backstory, I've done something like this before back during COVID. Um, I was trying to help out my local comic book store, and because there was so limited amount of people being able to be in the comic book store because it is an experience, um, they had to go to like online sales. So as an incentive to their customers, they ended up giving out free artwork for anybody that did a purchase of $25 or more. And because that store had supported me for so long, I was like, I want to help out. Let's go ahead and get some of the stuff out there. So we did everything from anime to cartoon, video games, all that kind of stuff. And it came out to over 700 cards that were done over the course of like 6 months. So it was a good push. And this time, since these are smaller, how you doing, Bucky? Since these are smaller, I can do a lot more, a lot faster, and I feel like it'll be a good challenge. So I mean, these are some of the ones I've done. So I've got Domino, which is right there. Got Deadpool, of course, Daredevil, um, Electra, Electro. This is the original Falcon. Um, Forge. This is Franklin Richards. This is going to be done by November of this year, all 1,000. Yeah, and I'm throwing them out here so people can, if they want to do a request, they want to go ahead and get part of the collection, they're more than welcome to. They can purchase them. They can get special requests, any of that stuff. So I'm not. I mean, I would love to hold on to it, and I'm archiving the stuff, so I will have copies of it. But ultimately, if somebody wants to, get some, they're more than welcome to it. I mean, I had one uh, client of mine through here that ended up getting 20 different cards, and he had like so many cool things that I hadn't done before. Like I did Cars, I did Captain Jack Sparrow, had a character from Princess Bride, all that kind of good stuff. Let me double check because I think I did knock the price down. It was, I think they were 25. I think they're going for 20 now. Let me just double check here. I haven't been on in 2 weeks, so I'm a little like I'm just trying to get myself reacquainted with all my stuff. Go on my inventory real quick here. And that's just for the cards. Now, there's other stuff there too if you want to go and take a look. But the cards, yeah, the cards are going for 20 a piece. I'm going to start. I got to get my groups in there so that way people know exactly what are in the lists. But that's Casey Marie from. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I've never done that character before. I did my first character from Ronin about 6 months ago, and that was doing a TMNT cover. I mean, I'll show it to you guys. I mean, it was a pretty dope cover. Let me see if I can find it here. Then I'll show it to you. Oh, you did? Well, thank you very much. I'll go ahead and get that knocked out and get that sent over to you. Really appreciate that. Yeah, let me show you that one TMNT one so you can kind of get a feel for what it was like. I think I have it in here. It's actually one of my favorite pieces I've done. I thought I posted it. I may not have because the client got that stuff last year. Let me see if he'll show it to me. I think it's in here. Yeah, it was one of my favorites to do. Did he get it in April? Yeah, he must have gotten it in April because. Oh, perfect. Thank you for sending those over. That's very helpful. I'll make it look good, I promise. Trying to see if I can find that piece. Yeah, I think this is going to be a good set. And since you added that to my collection, I'm definitely going to put that in the books that I produce with this down the road. Oh, I am not, oh, there it is. Found it. There it is. That's the one right there. Yeah, I mean, I look when I come to go and do this stuff, I'm not just you know giving you guys basic stuff. I want you to really have some cool stuff. Let me open this stuff up here. Um, Let me take a look. See here. Yes, I have done a Predator. I love doing Predator. He's fun. Yeah, Predator is one of those characters that is just unique. Let me see if I have that one. I did it years ago. Yeah, I haven't done him. He's a cool looking character. I actually like that movie. I love the movie up until the third act. Other than that, I love the movie. I thought it was great. I love the design of the character. I love the revenge plot, and then I love the very end scene of the movie. That was hilarious. So yeah, I'm definitely down to do that. But if you guys want to, if anybody wants to go and grab one, the card stuff is on the inventory, and you're more than welcome to get whatever you want. Just let me know what it is that you want to do. But I do need to get going on this because I'm running a bit late and I'm running a little bit behind. I'm 2 weeks behind on schedule. I'm supposed to do about 10 cards a week, but I haven't been doing that. So bad on me. So today, Let's see. All right, up on deck. Um, I did Goliath. I have to do Green Goblin. That's next. Okay. Well, yeah. Just go ahead. Go on the inventory. I'll go ahead and put him on here. I'll put him on my list. So I'll get your deck done today and get that sent out. But let me put this in my. All right. So your piece will come in one of the top loaders. Cool. 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 But you'll get one of the top loaders. Your card will be in there. It'll be nice and safe, and you don't have to worry about anything at all. What is going on, Pisces? Nice to see you on here. Happy New Year. We're just getting back into it. So it's been 2 weeks since I've drawn anything. Christmas really messed me up. I thought I was going to be able to make some shows happen, but unfortunately my workspace wasn't available, so I had to adjust. And that's okay. But I mean, I had a good rest, and now it's time to get back to business. And the cool part about it is now that I have all this big amount of time before we have our next break, which I think is not until summertime, I'm going to kick some tail. I've got it planned out where I'm going to have a ton of shows. Like I have 3 shows that I do a week. That's what the plan is until summertime, and then we'll go from there. All right, so let's get in here. Okay, let me see. Let me see if your stuff went through because I didn't see your card purchase pop up yet. Maybe I'm in the wrong thing. Let me see what's going on. Cool. See if your order went through. Okay, I do see your order. Cool. Got it on there. For some reason, it's not popping up on the other end, but that's okay. That's fine. Oh, I know why. Let me do this. I see why it's not working. Get all my products loaded to my shows. There we go. All right, let's go and get going. Perfect. All right, so I'll go ahead and, like I said, I'll do deck, but I'm probably going to do deck tomorrow. I'm just going to knock him out tomorrow while I'm on the stream. Um, Probably get him done first thing because I have a meeting in the morning, and then right after that, I'm coming back to work on that. But I'll get you. I'll hook you up. Cat's going insane. So I'm in my office. Well, thank you for the support. I can't tell you how much I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that you're doing something different. I like getting characters that I don't typically do. Yeah, I'll keep in communication with you about it too, so that way you'll know, where it is and all that kind of good stuff. With I kind of over deliver as far as that information goes because I don't want people thinking that I didn't send anything out. So I will keep constant contact. Okay. Okay. All I'm going to do is I'm going to put, I know I have this hooked up, but I'm going to disconnect it because I'm going to put on something I can listen to. Let's see what can I put on the background. I think I'm going to put on my Homeland movie that I've had going for a minute. We'll go from there. So what's everybody been up to? Everybody have a good holiday, good Christmas, good New Year's, safe, I hope. All right. All right, so my Green Goblin is going to have these two bombs, and he's going to do some work. Well, hello, Kay. How you doing? I have to apologize for missing your show the other day on the 28th. Doing well. See, I told you it would do good. So now that you got it under your belt, do you have any more that are coming up anytime soon? I'm not gonna lie, you definitely have something unique there. So you're gonna do pretty well with your stuff. See, I mean, your style is so unique, it makes sense. Yeah, once you keep on moving forward on it, it'll just get better and better and better and easier as you go along. I have to take this off here because I'm getting hell of a. There we go, much better. Yeah, so we kept it kind of simple. So she told me that she did not want to do anything for her birthday. She didn't want any gifts or whatnot. Um, So I kept it kind of simple. We went out to a very nice dinner. She loves Brazilian food, so we went and got a nice little Brazilian dinner with the kids. And then what else did we do? We did that, and then I brought her home, and my daughter had sent her some gifts, so I wasn't allowing her to open them until we had a chance to get her on the phone, so she could see them because she's not here, she's not local. And then I did this unique box where, as you open up the lid, it reveals stuff, and then you open up another box and it reveals more stuff. So it's like a box within a box within a box. So ended up being, I think, like 4 or 5 different layers, and the inner was like 4 Red Bulls, and then the layers before that were all like different candies and stuff. Yeah, it was all homemade, so it was not something that I bought in a store. Other than the candies and the other little surprises within. But I wanted to do something very unique. I wanted to do something fun, and I told her, I said, I'm not getting you. I didn't get her a gift that was like super expensive, and I didn't tell her like price wise what it was. It was just like I said, your gift is going to be fun. So I set the expectation for what she was going to get, and she loved it because it was one of her favorite colors. It was the color purple, so it worked out in that respect. And then again, it just had stuff within stuff, so it was just a fun. It was a fun little gift day. Something to be said, like when you can take care of your significant other, and you can make them laugh, whatnot. That's that's enough. We're going to be getting out of town here soon, so that's one of the other reasons. Like we wanted to really put the stuff behind that. Plus, we just came off of Christmas. Yeah, yeah. I hate that. The one thing I don't like about my wife's birthday is that her birthday literally sits right after Christmas, and I feel like anybody that's in that realm where they have the Christmas birthday or they have um before Christmas, I think sometimes they get shortchanged. Oh wow, that's funny. You guys are literally a day apart from each other. Oh, 3 days after. Oh, okay. Holy cow, that's a lot. Yeah, that is a lot. Yeah, I did. I wouldn't. I told my wife I don't want our Christmas. I mean, our wedding anniversary that close, so we have a little bit of gap. That is a ton. That's a lot in a small period of time. Yeah, I couldn't imagine that. Oh, that sounds cool. That sounds really good. See, that's fun. That's worth it. Yeah, we kind of realized that it's better for us to do like anniversaries when they're like a milestone. 'Cause, I mean, every year, if you want to spend the money to do it and you have the money to do it, cool. But I'd rather have milestones like when you hit the 5 year, when you hit the 10 year, 20 something year, because then it feels like it's a bigger experience. So when we hit our 10, we're gonna be going to Vegas. I've never been to Las Vegas, so for me, it's gonna definitely be one of those fun times. Thank you. Yeah, I don't expect a ton. I mean, I've been to cities, where you can gamble and all that stuff. I'm more wanting to go for the shows. Plus, my wife and I want to do our vow renewals at the Little Pink Chapel. That'd be awesome. I'll definitely put that on my list of stuff. He's wanted to go to the Little Pink Chapel for years. Yeah, I mean, I've heard like different stories about Vegas, and I think it's going to be fun. I don't know what to expect. We've been together for 14 years, and we've been married for this year will be 9. Dang it, I gotta get rid of that pen. Get rid of it. So sorry, I'm not trying to be quiet on purpose. I'm trying to find something I can't find. Yeah, I want to do some adventures. I mean, we have something really cool planned for after. Holy cow, that's crazy. Yeah, my wife and I got together in 2011, in November 2011. This is kind of weird. So we got together in 2011, and we got married in May of 2017. What's up, Mello? Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Wow, that is insane. I would have never guessed that one. Well, congrats to you two. Yeah, I love married life. It's fun. I don't look back. I mean, I don't. When I look back at it, I'm like, wow, what was life like without you? It was weird not having her in my life, and then it's kind of like it's weird because people tell you about like that full circle, completing the circle, but having a good partner makes life so much easier. You know, it's almost like having a good friend, but this one is your lifelong partner. You get to share those experiences that you never got a chance to experience before, and you see it in a different light. And when you guys connect, it's a whole different ball game. Oh, I was just telling my wife and my one of my pastors about you the other day. I was telling them about when I was when we were talking about the whiteboards, because that was one of our big things that we talked about in a business meeting. Wow, 23 years. You got some experiences, my friend. I admire you. I'll be honest with you, I'm looking forward to 25. The adventures you guys must have had. Okay, that's fine. I got you, Bucky. I'll go ahead and update that. Okay. I'm gonna update that right now so that way I don't mess that up. It's Casey Marie Jones, right? Yeah, I mean, every year that I'm married, I find that it gets easier every year. It gets easier and easier. Gotcha. Okay, I'll make sure I get that updated. And I got the reference inside my notes there. I get it. Not for marriage isn't for everybody, but I'll be darned. Like when I was a kid, I knew I was going to get married because one thing I realized is I have this desire to pass on my legacy and share my legacy with the people around me. And I've always wanted kids, and I have that. Three awesome children and two awesome grandkids. So being able to share that is fun. I've had the opportunity to grow as a person more than anything. Marriage teaches you how to be patient, definitely how to compromise. Yeah, and I mean that's the cool part. I mean, how you doing, Marsh? That's the cool thing about being, in a relationship. That being able to work with somebody and understanding like partnership. If anything, being in a good marriage will actually being in a good marriage will actually help you learn how to function with other people. I mean, that is a fact. Because if you think about it, the biggest problem with most of our relationships that we have is communication. We don't know how to talk to people um, from a place of love. We don't see eye to eye. And when you get married, then you start realizing, okay, well, what is the problem? What's the root? Am I having a bad day? Is he having a bad day? Is it the kids? Is it money? And then you start squashing out those problems, and then you move forward. Because the biggest thing that I know for myself is I thought that I was pretty solid, but I realized like over time I have flaws just like anybody else. I'm not perfect, and it's okay to say that. That's the problem. Also, my wife, definitely let me know it's okay to realize you have vulnerabilities. The only people that are going to, you know, look down upon you are those people that have their own insecurities. And I'm good with that because I like to know that, my wife's got my back at the end of the day and I got hers. I try to take those lessons. I try to do to inform my kids about that so that way, as they become better, I mean, as they get into relationships that they will, flourish. That's what I love seeing. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's something to be said about being in a good, loving relationship. The experiences that you are able to have with your significant other, you don't realize it, but your kids are literally recording that information and they're storing it up there in their brains. So that way, when they end up in a relationship, they can kind of reference back and be like, oh, I like that part, or I didn't like that part. Oh, mom did this for dad. Okay, well, why don't I try that with with my partner? then they kind of know what they want. And as they become older, the connections become make more sense. So that's one of the reasons why I like a lot of, you know, daughters end up finding a man that's like their dad, and vice versa. The sons find a woman that has the values of their mom. Not that they're a mama's boy or anything like that, but they like the values of that person. Yeah, that's true. I get that too. Like my wife and I are the people that we don't sit down and watch TV and stuff like that unless there's a show that we really want to watch. We're the family that are super competitive, so we get out our Wii or we'll get out our Switch and we'll get on and we'll play Mario Kart. That's fun for us. We'll be silly and do family stuff like play Rummy Cube and stuff of that nature. We like to go on a little adventures and stuff of that like that. I mean, that those are the things that are fun. Yeah, well, I will tell you this much. We have outlawed Monopoly in our house. Like it's the one game that we have in our house that nobody is allowed to play. Because for some reason, either somebody's feelings get hurt, somebody cheats a lot, and it just doesn't become fun anymore. That's the only game that we have that. But our family's highly competitive. Family game night is fun. That's why like Rummy Cube works out really well. Cards work out really well. Spades. We're gonna start implementing. My wife and I. We're gonna do like a Lego night where we're gonna do like Legos on up here soon. Not gonna lie, part of me is it's partly for me because I want to do those. Yeah, I mean, you get we found like my wife ended up getting me this bonsai tree Lego set, and we have a hutch, and I want to start putting those things over there or on our mantle and put them on there. Yeah, I'm very much a follow the directions kind of thing when it comes to my Lego sets. um, because I'm very specific on what I buy. I have my wife introduced me to Wish years ago, and that was bad on her because I'm a person that likes to find a deal, so that's where I get a lot of my Lego sets from. And they're not really Lego because they don't have the Lego logo on it, but they're like block sets. And I was able to get like a Lamborghini on there for about a third of the price. I got this nice Ferrari for a third of the price. Actually, no more than that. For like an eighth of the price. So now I'm trying to add to my collection because I like cars. So I got a bunch of the F1 cars. But we're gonna end up, I think for Valentine's Day, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get the flower sets. Yeah. I got my wife she's a Van Gogh fan. So I got her the Vincent Van Gogh Starry Night set, and she doesn't want it. She doesn't have the patience to build that whole thing, but she will be doing that. Thank you very much for the share. Um, so my wife is, we're gonna probably do that for Valentine's Day. I think it'll be fun. She's a goofball. So getting back to your work, yeah, it is. It is. It's a skill, you know. Here's the thing, and I'll go back to your artwork here in just a second, but I really got to say this. Um, that particular, being able to build Legos is a very tactile experience. It's good, and it's really good for your kids as well. It gets them to follow directions. It allows them to get frustrated at something as they're building it because you learn from mistakes. And even adults, you'd be surprised how many adults mess up on their Lego kits. But it's good. It's a good experience, and that's why a lot of them have gotten a lot more intricate. They're a lot less juvenile, and plus they just look overall better. So as you see them up, they give you this pleasure of like, wow, I did something really cool. Yeah, but that's the learning experience, though. I mean, honestly, there's times where I've been so frustrated because I missed a step on my newer ones because they're a lot more sophisticated. If I mess up something, the functionality just completely messes up. And when we're talking steps, we're talking like 400 to 500 different steps in a kit. I remember one time I messed up on one of my newer kits, and it was probably like 50 steps back, and it was one block that messed up everything. I'm gonna have his hat go out above here. Yeah, I think Green Goblin's gonna look dope. I think he's gonna look good. Did you put that on your board? Perfect. So how many shows do you have to do in order to go ahead and make that happen? Like how many shows are you planning on doing? So because you decided to go ahead and set that all up, how many shows are you gonna do to go and back that up so that way you can get to your goal? And the second part to that question is, once you do that, are you going to be posting that stuff regularly? Because as I remember watching as you were getting ready to do your show, you started posting up some of your stuff. And I thought that was really cool because then people could actually see what you were doing and see the uniqueness of your work. I said your stuff was unique in the fact that it's very whimsical, and not a lot of people do that kind of work anymore. Yeah, that's the biggest part. Get yourself on a regular schedule. Even if it's one day, make sure you do that show every week. Practice it on your show. Practice that realism on your show. Like I said, if you do it on your stream, it archives it so you can go back and see what you did, what you liked and what you didn't like. See those techniques. And then worst case scenario, and you can also download them too. Yeah, I told you about the grid style the last time I saw you on the cast. Yeah, the grid is like the best way to do it. And you want to know something? As you do the grid style and you're streaming it, people are gonna be like, "Wow, that is really cool." You're gonna get a lot of that, I promise. The reason for it is because most people don't realize the easiest path is that. Yeah. Get yourself some graphite pencils. If you can get to Michael's or whatnot, get the graphite pencils. They work out really well for when you're doing shading, and they will stick to your paper better. And that'll work. The biggest thing about it is that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what pencil that you get. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I can use this mechanical pencil. I can use this guy right here. I have a friend of mine, literally, she's so good. She can use any pencil. She can use those number two pencils. And because she's able to really have control over her pressure that she applies with the pencil, she can make magic. She's that good. And that's what it is. I mean, the different pencil weights, the amount of graphite makes things easier for you to do it. But if you have control over one pencil, that gets rid of, eight different pencils. Makes your life way easier. But you gain that skill over time. It's literally the same thing as you learning how to ride a bike. You know when to pedal, when to push hard, when to slow down, change gears, that kind of stuff. But it doesn't happen overnight. You just gotta practice it. And you'll get there. I guarantee it. You put in the time and the effort. Okay, why can't you pull the trigger? Is it the money, or is it the fact that you're not going to utilize it? Because I can tell you right now, you'll use it. Okay, let me tell you something. Let me actually show you something really quickly here, because I did the same exact thing. Where is this? Okay, here. All right, you see this bag right here? That's the 150 um piece Prisma set right there in that bag. I use these Prismas on a daily basis when I'm doing artwork. If you are if you sell, say, like three pieces and they're $50 a piece, it's paid for itself. Why not do it? You have to invest in yourself in order to get better. It's not going to happen on a whim. So if you put in $50 and you get out 600, was it worth it? 100%. Yeah, I completely agree about the realism piece. The goal should be always be just getting better at a skill, at a craft. Here's the thing, you could literally go over and go buy the 64, I think it's 64 pencils. Start there. If you won't pull the trigger on 150, do it on the half set. And then as soon as you start using them, you're gonna be like, "Oh my goodness, why didn't I just go ahead and get the better one?" Yes, it is. That I will be on. Watercolor's fun. Watercolor's hard. Watercolor, I think, if anything, it's kind of up there with doing realism. It's a whole different degree of control. Listen, invest in yourself. Okay. If you look at it in the grand scheme of things, okay, you spend the 150 bucks. If you're divided by 12, look at it from that aspect. Okay. Like you're going to be doing like just say for example you're going to burn them out in 12 months, right? We're talking all the pencils. Okay. That's $12.50 a month. I've had my colored pencils for 2 years, worth the investment. You have kids, right? And they have to have sneakers, right? For their sports. Well, you have to spend a little bit in order for them not to kill their feet, right? That's an investment. Yeah, and it's true. You don't have to buy, you don't have to spend a lot in order to make things happen. When I came out doing Copic markers, I was following this one guy, and his name is Sketchcraft. He literally walked me through all of the Copic markers that I would need. Now, when I first got my Copics, I was doing cool colors, warm colors, which are like grays and like soft tans. I got every one of the markers, and he's like, "Why are you doing that? Why are people going out and spending all this money? If you get every other one, you'll get a variation. There's not much of a variation from a one to a two, but there is a variation from a three to a five or a five to a seven. There's a very big jump." I know. I'm trying to make him. Oh, you're talking about Art the Clown. Then it worked. um, but you just got to pull the trigger on those things. I mean, if you can afford to do it, if you are wanting to up your skills, it's a short term investment for a long term gain. If I told somebody, choose between the Crayolas and the Prismas, you just go buy the Prismas. Well, that's the thing. I mean, like the time being able to draw, that's why I got on Whatnot because I don't have a ton of time to draw. But if I'm on Whatnot, it's dedicated time. And you have to put that time in there for the things that you enjoy. Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you, when I talk to you guys, I learn a lot. I I find out about things I don't know about. Sometimes I'll learn techniques and things that, perspective that I hadn't thought about. Hey Tasha, how you doing? Um, so while we're on here, like Marsh was talking about, the ballpoint pen deal, right? I've done ballpoint pen, but I haven't thought about ballpoint pen in years. And it's something that in my head, I'm going to keep in the back of my mind and be like, oh, shoot, I'm going to probably try that again. Ballpoint pen is fun, and somebody might be like, oh, why don't you try, doing, woodworking? Okay, let's go. Like I've thought about showing some of my like my string art pieces that I do, at my other job, just so, I can expose people to other types of art. Not that they're trying to steal anything I'm doing, but it just opens the doors for other people to do new things. So I'm gonna have to change that color a bit. I used to be one of these guys that would stay on YouTube all the time, but this is way better. And I can dedicate my time to it. And I'm not just watching, I'm actually participating. So that's what I said. I mean, you can use this channel for your benefit. So even if you're drawing 2 times a week and you're doing it for 3, 4 hours at a clip, it's better than doing none. Yeah, I'm gonna probably do some challenges this year. I'm definitely doing my um what is it called? It's called June Tune. And in June Tune, you draw cartoon characters based on prompts. Love doing that every year. It's fun. I'm gonna do that, and then I'll do Inktober again. And then they have Mermaid or Mermay. So you actually draw a mermaid every week or every day based on a prompt. You know what? Inktober's fun. I tell anybody that wants to do Inktober, just do it. The biggest complaint that I not complaint, the biggest thing that I always hear from everybody that tries and they're like, I don't know how to draw every day. Well, here's the thing. The goal is not to do the drawing every day. The goal is to do the 30 prompts. And if you're able to post every day, prompts. It's to challenge you. The first year, you're probably not going to get all 30, but probably by the second or third year, you'll get them all. But it's also to get you to think creatively. Inktober is hard because people can't get out of what they're used to. I distinctly remember doing an Inktober where I could not draw any superheroes. That it was like a non-negotiable. And that was very hard. Give me one second, guys. Okay. Yeah, I like to do those kind of challenges. They're fun. You learn a lot from yourself. Yeah, I think, well, as I've gone along, I wanted I want to be able to put that stuff up on here. I did some of my Inktober stuff on here from October. I did an Iceman on here because my Inktober challenge was all X-Men this past year. So I did Iceman, I did Psylocke. I think I did a Bishop at one point. I did that as a cover. So I've had a chance to do some. Yeah, I think this year, now that I've got kind of like a better feel for what I'm doing, um, I definitely want to push people to, start showcasing their artwork. I mean, I follow a lot of art channels, but I'm one of these people that really likes to see handmade art. Like to see how things are crafted. I'm one of these people that watches those how to build shows kind of thing. So I want to know how things are done. That's how I learned about like put it using Copics and then putting Prisma, yeah, putting Prismas on top of them, because the Copics kind of like act as a base layer, and depending on what the material you're using, like if you're using like a Bristol board or something like that, it might not absorb it as much. Oh, perfect. That's really cool. That's doable too. And if you get in contact with local, um, people in the community of your area, you might be able to get the venue comped too. Yeah, the sooner that you get that in their ear, get that bug in their ear, the better. I've wanted for years. I've wanted to do a an expo. Yeah, once you get that plan, definitely knock that plan out. But you also have to have a time frame when you're going to have that plan done. That's the other part. And I'm in the same boat. Like I've wanted to do an expo for many, many years. The holdup for me was I want to showcase my own art, but the expo is not about that. The expo is about showcasing other people's art. I'm just a facilitator. No problem. You have a blessed one as well. Take care. And I might see you tomorrow. We'll see. All the best to you and your family. Yeah, so knock this guy out. And then next week, I've had a commission that I've been holding on to for a little bit because I wanted to give it justice. So back in November, there was this gentleman that came up to me. He asked me to do, what was it? Oh, he wanted me to color one of my pages in my coloring book. That's what it was. So he bought my Color Me coloring book. It was my third Color Me coloring book. And he was like, I want you to color this Wolverine. And it was a very odd request. I never had anybody do that. They're like, I want you to color your own stuff and then I'll buy that. It's like, okay, cool. So he comes back around to pick up his product that he purchased, and he had this Hulk book, right? And I looked at him like it's World War Hulk. And I've drawn a couple of versions, like sketches of Hulk from World War Hulk. And I was like, dude, I can draw a Hulk. Hulk is like an easy go-to for me. Because he's just all muscles, veins. But this one, he's got to have the warrior garb and all that kind of good stuff. So I am going to draw that on here and get that knocked out, and then get that up to him because he's been waiting for it for a little while. Then I got to show you guys my other piece that I did. It was a Transformers piece I did a while ago. I got to get to this guy Mike that purchased it back on Free Comic Book Day. We have not been able to contact each other because I didn't have his contact info. And that's on me because his card that I had linked to his stuff got misplaced. And that's okay, but he was very understanding about it, and I'm gonna get that out to him this week. Timmy, how you doing? Nice wave. I like it. How are you doing today? Well, thank you. I'm glad you popped up in here. Yeah, I'm just working on one of many sketch cards for my sketch card series. Well, you came to the right show. I mean, I have a whole bunch of different cards, but just to give you a little quick spiel, I'm doing 1,000 cards, 10 different categories from Transformers, Marvel, DC, anime, cartoons, Pokemon, and I think there's one or two more in there. But like I said, I have 10 different categories, and I'm doing all of those. And right now, I'm working on the Marvel set, trying to get that done, and then I'll move on to the DC after that. Let me think here. Do I have my Thanos cards? I do not have a Thanos, but I can make one. He's on the list. I can tell you that for sure. Yeah, I can definitely hook you up with Thanos. Thanos is like one of my favorites to draw. I even have a Thanos print too. I can do Thanos. When people do their orders for their cards, I just do them. I do them like ASAP. It'll either be done on today's show or tomorrow's show. I try to get those done as quickly as possible so I don't have any delays on those. Here, let me give you a little sample of Thanos real quick here, or at least my version of Thanos. Where are you, buddy? So this is my version of Thanos. Oh, so you saw that print right there? Yeah. So I mean, if you decide you want to do Thanos, let me know, and like I said, I'll go ahead and knock him out, and he'll be in your hands, and as quickly as the mail will get it to you. So if get it done today or tomorrow, it should be in your hands early next week. The cards go for 20 a piece. Try to keep them pretty reasonable so that way they're not crazy. Yeah, all the cards come in color unless you decide otherwise. So just like I have here, it's going to be Prisma and Copics. Yeah, you got actually the way that I do things is that I give you a whole process. So as I'm doing it, and even when it gets shipped out, you know everything. So you got a step by step. Want to keep you in the loop. So absolutely. Oh, no worries. Yeah, just jump on the whatnot. Just go ahead and do your thing, and then I'll go ahead and get that knocked out for you. But I'll tell for now what I'll do is I'll pull a card aside. Okay, that's fine. I can definitely do that one. Um, I'll pull your card aside. I'll put your info on it, and then we're good to go. So that way I know. All right, let me put that thing else on the back here, so that way I know. Because it looks like yours will be the second one I do tomorrow. And as soon as you send it, as soon as you get that processed, that way I have an address to send it to. All right, all righty, perfect. All right, and you want the comic Thanos? Gotcha. Well, thank you. Okay. All right, I got yours all ready to go here. Well, I hope you like it. And like I said, I'll send you over a picture as soon as I get that knocked out for you. Yeah, I think I got Green Goblin here, and I got one other person after this. Perfect. Well, those shows are listed up there. Alrighty. Hey, take care. Alrighty, let's jump on here. Well, it's got a good morning so far. Good morning. It's always good seeing my regulars come through. Got new people. I think I'm gonna have to reach out to one of my old clients just to be like, "Hey, how's things going?" No problem. Are we still on for 10 a.m. tomorrow? Something else. Okay, let's get this guy wrapped up. This took me way longer, but when you're talking, you can't really help that. Then I'll thicken up those lines a little bit. Okay. Looks good. Looking good. All right, we're sitting at 10:20, so we actually had a hour and 20 to burn on this one. Okay. All right, I'm gonna throw on my show, and then I want to go to work here because I really got to get cooking on these pieces. All right, put this on in the background. Thank you. Yeah, I'm almost done with him. Trust me, I'm gonna like your character. I'm gonna really like throw down because what ends up happening is when I have characters I don't do, I push a lot harder. And I'm not saying I don't do well on the other stuff that's came out wrong, but I push a lot harder because it's something I haven't done before, and I'm not comfortable with it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really looking forward to that Dax, and I might just do it just to be on the fun side because I think he's a cool character. Okay, that's good. Thinking I might put some color behind that. What color do I want to do? I think, let's see, what would be a good color to put behind that as a background? No, like, I could do yellow. Let me try that because that's a contrasting color. Yeah, that'll work. I like the yellow against that. Hey, Alexis, how you doing? Yeah, I think this one's almost done. I wasn't trying to say that to talk you into it. You challenged me, so I was like, you know what? Why not? The question is, did you like the movie and what kind of rating would you give it? I'm gonna I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it with my whole chest. It's probably one of my favorite Predator movies since the original. And that's a big thing. I'll say it even more so. Like I think this year for Predator, they've knocked it out of the park. Two for two. Well, yeah, I will say Prey was really good. But have you seen Killer of Killers? Okay. Yeah, they were two for two this year. Like Predator is like chef's kiss this year. I don't know what that man has been smoking, but he is on a tear. He's got vision, and I love people that have vision. Because think about it, like he's got both Predator and he has the Alien series going in a different realm that nobody ever saw it going. I just want to see good stories. That's the big part about all this stuff. I just want to see great stories. And if he can keep on feeding more and more of those, I'm down. 100%. Bring it on. All right, Goblin is done. Who else do I do? Yeah, I wish the problem for me is I don't play a lot of games. So for me, I wish I could see him put a lot of effort into the movies or series. I'm looking forward to the next chapter of this new Predator Borderlands. How it ended was perfect. I felt like it had the grittiness, the fact that they are able to have um the girl that was the symbiote, not symbiote, but she was the robot. That was great. Yes, I know. It's not the basic Predator stuff that we're used to seeing. That's the best part about it. When we go outside the box, it's cool. Yeah, and it's good storytelling. It was a good balance. It had a lot of depth to it. It had great characters. At first, I wasn't a big fan of them going with the Predator speaking his own language throughout the entire movie, but it made sense because they were having their dialogue back and forth. It would have made no sense for them to speak English. So just those little things that they put in there, showing the hunting grounds and all this kind of good stuff. So unique. I think I did the Guardian. James Hudson. I don't know who that is. That's weird. My computer is locked up. Yeah, that was really cool. Hey, you too. Thank you again for your support, boss. I'll go ahead and get working on your stuff probably tomorrow. Go out by the weekend. Take care. Oh, that was weird. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna keep on kicking tail on this piece. All right. Um, Sorry, I just gotta get my stuff up here so I can go and get moving. That's funny. Netflix crashes. I'm not gonna lie, like if Netflix had pulled off what people were hoping for, that would have been amazing. That would have been the biggest thing to happen in Netflix. I mean, I think it was a missed opportunity, but that's just me. But we're getting more stuff anyway, so it doesn't matter. That's not gonna have to do it. Go a different route. Um, Yeah, let's do. That's the red guardian. I don't want to do. Okay. Oh, goodness. That. Okay, so I'm going to. Dang it. Okay. I have to get away just a little bit. Um, all right, we'll do this. I'll leave. All right. I need to go get one of my other pins because this is not going to work. All right, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. No other pins, right? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this guy up real fast and we'll move on from there. Okay. Get this Red Guardian all done real fast here. Whoever's on look. Working on this character named Guardian. Haven't seen him since Alpha Flight in a long time, so it's been a minute. I've never drawn him before, so this is the first. All right, so we're gonna go. Okay. Okay, I think we're looking good here. Guardian looks good. We'll get this red in here real fast. Start pushing in the rest. Fortunately, I'm going to have to cut the stream a little bit early, but we'll be good. Okay, the Guardian is looking good. Some red to pop in there. So I'll put this purple in as a base for the shadow. Mm, trying to decide if I really want to keep that. We'll see. We'll check on that one. But I'm gonna go ahead and call it for the day, guys. Thank you so much for being on the stream, and I will catch all of you tomorrow.